Alright, so new dev diary, new angry Konrad. Let's get this bread. So, dev diary on Switzerland, okay? Hello everyone, my name is Carlo. I'm a content designer for Switzerland for Battle of fucking Christ, I can't remember anymore. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. It's just more stuff. Switzerland was founded in the Middle Ages from the start of the loose confederation of small territories. Three at the. Okay, yeah, this is all great and completely not what we're trying to find. Okay, so what does the Swift path look like? We have a historical path and an alt historical path. Can you imagine? Because actually playing Switzerland historically, you do nothing for the entire game. Okay, because one of the main focuses of focus mountains and a focus tree, you would always start at the peak with the center being the historical. They really made it like a mountain. Okay, cool. They made it like a mountain. Besides planned alternate paths, but we'll start with the Swiss guiding principle focuses. This will initiate the balance of power system for Switzerland and trigger an event where you can choose the general direction that Switzerland will take. Let's stop talking a bit. Okay, blah 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 blah. The balance of power. So this balance of power is the same thing that was on my Italy thing. Go back and watch that shit if you don't know what it is, right? It was Mussolini and then the Fascist War Council, and they basically look like they're doing the same thing here. So you can swing it in either direction for various buffs or debuffs, right? Switzerland's path through the Hearts of Iron forward period depends heavily on where the power lays. Is the power mostly on the cantons? This means that will go historically, where local citizen militias and limited council power made it hard for the country to ally with a foreign power, but at the same time prevented the central government from being intimidated into capitulation. Instead, the balance of power is in the council. You lock out a path of historical path in the middle, but in BOP, closes the door, opens a new one. Okay, basically activates full canton ability. Minus 10 war support, minus 100% political advisor cost. That's funny. That's actually really good. Okay, each side of the segment has its advantages. The more the canton power, the cheaper sending advisors will be. Okay. Moving it to the council will grant you war support. Some decisions and other systems will depend on it. Others will affect it. So keeping your eye on it. Basically, you need to keep your eye on the damn thing. Consumer goods minus 5, military construction speed plus 10. Ooh, that's really nice. Switzerland has committed to defending the country, both physically and spiritually, since in 1935. We saw the beginning. Physical part was rearmament focus, and now we have the recommitment to the spiritual. Unlock the spirit. Okay. Passive spirit of Helvenians. Okay, your political power gain goes up by 0.20. Your war support is minus 20. Wow, that's trash. Your recruitable population goes up by minus 15%. That's real bad, actually. Oh, wow. Factory construction speed minus 5. Civilian construction speed plus. Well, at least you can build civs faster. That's interesting. As you progress through the historical path, it will change to a defensive stance, an aggressive stance if you go the alt path, or you might just stay in the passive stance. Each one also has an at war variation and different modifiers for the 6 of them. Passive spirit, daily political power minus 0.10, division org minus 20%, stability minus 20%, war support minus 10, recruitable population minus 25. Why would you ever go down the passive one? In case you're wondering who the Helvetian person is, I'll take you back to the Helvetian story back in the Roman times. Okay, yes, the Helveti Swiss. We get it, the Helvetian Republic, due to the multinational, because basically Switzerland, Italian, German, French. There's a lot of people that live in Switzerland that, so far, you give them a chance for history, all point. Okay. This is actually, because there's 3 different populations in Switzerland. There's French, there's German, and there are Italians. And we'll look at that. Historically, Switzerland fortifies its borders with the biggest 3 neighbors and the 3 countries it shared languages with. Yes, okay. With good reason. They all wanted to walk through Switzerland's territory towards the enemy, and through them shared languages served as an excuse to annex it. Yes, this was Germany's actual plan. Because, well, plan to conquer was, well, there's German speakers there, so, Czechoslovakia, insert country here, annexed. Or possible to order friendly relations by taking them from neutral to allies. Naturally, though, fortifying against a country can be seen as suspicious and triggers the start of very important system neutrality. Okay, so this whole thing right here does not matter at all if you are playing an MP because it's a fucking player. This thing probably won't do anything unless you really want to fuck it up. Okay, that's what I'm gonna go with. Because the Dutch have the same thing with Germany. They have to have like positive relations with Germany to get like a battle cruiser to get the techs, and Germany could just say no, and you wasted a 70-day focus. So, as a neutral nation, you want to keep the balance of all countries around you, so none of them feel like you're favoring one or the other. Okay. Otherwise, you could use it to argue you've broken your neutrality and prompt them to invade. The system keeps track of your biggest neighbors and opinion of you, allowing them to appease them or antagonize them. Well, most actions have repercussions to the other country's perception of you. If one of the countries considers you in grave violation of neutrality and has a very negative opinion of you, it will trigger a timer at the end of which they get a war goal and will probably press the fucking war button. So you better scramble to do. Okay. So if you have X amount of relations and then they get a war goal on you, they're gonna fucking declare war on you because that's what the AI does. That's gonna be ass. Okay. The system is pretty flexible and can keep track of up to 4 majors around Switzerland and even adjust if there are one or more in a faction. Also, many focuses will have a negative and positive effects on the system, requiring each certain. Okay. Requiring you to have a certain ideology. Okay, I see. Before you. Yeah. So integrate how you play with Switzerland. Okay, ban this with the Nazi party. So yeah, you piss Germany off when you do that. Okay, I see this being useful all the way up to the point in which you join a faction, and then it would be hilarious if people in your faction declared war on you, because that would be like, let's say like 6 people declare war on you, and they're in a faction, and then you join that faction. I wonder how that war would go, because that's what the system would probably do. But okay, after the ban, the Swiss Nazi Party, which one does? Which one does this on the 10 plus negative opinion? We have an armed neutrality branch. This is the central defensive branch of the Swiss tree and unlocks another system we need to talk about, the Swiss Citizen Militia. Okay, so this unlocks armed neutrality. Let's see if I can actually get back up here. Armed neutrality is a center thing. Okay, so that's actually pretty close. Okay. Okay. Going back to the Helvetic history now, Switzerland's political system. There is no centralized government. This is true. Powerful enough to conscript a large army, but on the account that Switzerland is located, it needs to have the ability to defend itself. Well, you're in fucking mountains. Yeah, the Swiss army relied on the training of their population, giving them requirements to keep equipment in their homes, which they still do today. So they would take up arms and form local militias. This means they could have 20% of their population ready to deploy in as quickly as 24 hours to attempt any invader. Historically, this is why Switzerland's military needed its own system. 20% of your population, I would like to see them fucking try to keep that for more than like a month or two. But yes, in theory, they could raise that many people. Switzerland will start with a unique recruitment law, giving it 10% recruitable population and no negative effects. That's because the enlisted population is still participating in the economy. The downside is you cannot train regular troops, only some mountaineers to represent the small professional army whose purpose was holding out for 24 hours until the citizen militias were ready. You can train mountaineers, but not regular. Cannot train regular force. Well, okay. Well, you can't spam out. You can't actually get more. If this is the way I'm reading it, you can't actually get more special forces because unless you can't do the exploit glitch for battalions, but you can do another thing to get more special forces, but that involves converting them. I made a video on that you can go watch, but yeah, okay, that's really weird. To make up the bulk of the army, you can train militias. Italy's DD also explains this new battalion type. Oh no, not the militias. There is a cap to how many divisions you can train. It's a locked template on top of that. Fucking amazing, guys. So if it's a locked template, that means you can't edit it. And that means if it is a 10 width or, God forbid, a 6 width, well, congratulations. You are stuck with it. Too bad. Fuck your combat with. The dormant citizen militia national spirit makes them very weak, but that's okay. You can deal with the issues by earning and spending military readiness. Militia attack deep. Okay, yeah, you basically just get walked on. Okay. You fund the system and the decision panel lets you use political power, command power, and other resources to gain military readiness. You could spend to improve the militia's template, increase the amount you can train, expand the military readiness, increase your military production, but more importantly, deploy your citizen militias, which remove the dormant citizen militia and activates active citizen militia, and perform their duties for the true levels, but giving your economy some penalties which grow which grow the longer you keep them active. Okay. Deploy the citizen militia, the council speech, military training drive, expand the military staff, distribute weapons, focus on war production, improve divisions. Okay. Back to the focus tree. Under the armed neutrality, you will find 3 branches. Promote Gostine Branch, the Frontier Defense Plan, and the shared one in between. The Frontier Defense Plan was Switzerland's old strategy for fortifying the border and not giving any ground to the enemy. So this sub-branch focuses on improving divisions and fortifying the border. Historically, this plan was abandoned when Gustine was promoted to general and commander-in-chief, okay? So what they're talking about here is kind of a little historical thing. So the old plan for defending Switzerland was to hold the ground and then give it up never. They found out that that wouldn't work in a war like this, so they found out that if they gave up half their country and defended the south of Switzerland, okay, so the part on the Italian border, and made that an impenetrable, just actual fortress with no civilians, just military personnel there, and they blew all the bridges, they could hold up for a very long time. That's going to be very historically accurate. I don't know if it'll be any good to actually play them in HOI, but we'll keep reading. Another of the many quirks of the Swiss military and political system is that their military ranks only go up to corps commanders. This is also very true, and can only be a single general who acts as commander in chief when the country's at risk of or at war. Only 4 people have been assigned this role, and the last guy was Henry Gustin in 1939, who brought the strategy to promote Henry Gustin, the sub-branch. Broadly speaking, the redoubt national approach consisted in letting the basically I talked about it. They let them advance, and then they retreat to fortified positions in the Alps. Yeah, maintaining the expectation was not necessarily to liberate the rest of the country, but to make it clear taking Switzerland would not be easy, and thus deterring invaders. So the sub-branch focuses easier for you to hold on mountains for as long as possible, and even adds the Gotland Pass victory point, which becomes the capital once Bern is lost. That is very cool. I like that. Okay, that's actually an interesting idea. It moves your capital to a more defensive position, so you can hold it, so you don't get fucking killed. Because here's a fun fact: if you surround a capital, it can't get supplies to anyone, which means everyone starves to death because your capital has been cut off, which is what a lot of MP people do. So that's good that they took that fucking shit out. Okay, so you promote him to chief of staff. That's a lot of army XP per day. That is a very high defense value. Daily command power doesn't mean anything. Then increase your military readiness by 10, command power plus 20. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's the armed neutrality path done. Now on to the rest. Okay. Switzerland's neutrality and proximity to the conflict make it a prime stage for espionage, both the Allied Axis. Of course, Switzerland needed to keep it up, often with it collaborating with the Allies and somewhat unknowingly with the Soviet Union through the Lucy spy ring. Okay. On the historical path of the focus tree, you have 2 ways of getting a free intel agency. Fucking wow, guys. They're adding a free intel agency. Oh my god. They should call Kaiserreich and tell them they fucking already did that 2 years ago. Federal police, blah, 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 blah. Okay. What does it add? Add your intelligence. Counterintelligence plus 0.25 is actually pretty big. The daily fascism for it means you're going to go flip fascist, but okay. On the other hand, we have the Burdo, hence which the spy network in other countries can open up the branch for defensive, cultural resistance oriented focuses. The Swiss government couldn't risk other countries finding out they were getting intelligence on them, so they had to keep it under wraps and have a measurability of deniability. Blah 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 blah. Okay, what does it actually add? Counterintelligence minus 0.5. Intel network strength gained by 25. Wow, cool. So you're not going to take this fucking focus. You're going to take this one. Because this one, first of all, you would have to convince the AI to actually spy on you, which, fun fact, they're not going to do. And this one just helps you overall. So, okay. The very broad strokes. The Switch Orchestra is, but, okay. I've been babbling on for quite a bit. Unlock unique political system in real life. But now it is time to explain how it represented in HOI. Switzerland starts with 3 assigned political advisors. That's different. And they represent the leading federal counselors out of the 7 on the Rio Council, plus the president of the Confederation. Each of the advisors has a new trait unique to Switzerland, most of which correspond with the advisor's role or political position during the period. Each year, starting in 1937, you will get an event prompting you to elect a president from your active advisors. This advisor will be removed and retired forever. But for the next year, you'll get a powerful decision based upon the trait they had when they were an advisor. After that, you better assign a new advisor quickly or suffer consequences of an empty seat. In total, there will be at least 25 political advisors to choose from with at least 10 different traits that I hope will make it more engaging and a key alternate path. Okay. Swiss democratic condition. Oust the Confederation president. Wow. Weekly stability gain plus 2%. Weekly war support minus 1%. Okay. So this seems okay. I don't know how effective it would be because if you had an advisor that gave you like -5 consumer goods for the rest of the game, and then you made him president, and he only gave you like -10 consumer goods for a year, that's not very good. I'm not sure what the. We'll see. At this point, you probably noticed the map has been changed a bit. Oh, they're changing the map again. And around the Alps, let me explain. We've done most important things is we've shuffled the states of Switzerland. It now has 5. The Swiss Plateau, the Western Swiss Alps, East Swiss Alps, Toronto, and the Jura Mountains. Fun fact, this is where the term Jurassic Park comes from. Oh, look at that. There's also some new victory points on top of that. Austria did get something after all. Volksburg, a new state I might talk about in Evdagger. Okay, so they have a new state for Austria. Okay. The other change you might have noticed is there's a lot of province tooltips along the Alps now, impassable terrain, helping represent how much of an obstacle. Wow, that actually is a lot of impassable terrain. Well, if you get encircled, you're fucking dead. If they take the Godern Pass on that side and they take the Swiss Plateaus, well, guess what? You're dead. Okay. Represent the obstacle unless you have elephants, you know. I know what they're talking about there with Carthage and Hannibal. Okay, so the St. Gothard Pass. This route was vital. It was the fastest passage between Germany and Italy, and possibility of the destruction was a major element against invasion. HOI4 Switzerland has 2 or 3 connections to the Alps, making it a more tempting prize for anyone playing the neighbors. Germany command even and considering invading Switzerland. Well, if they wanted to fucking invade them, either one of them, they could still win. It take 2 brain cells to do that. And that's about it. 2,800 waiters word. Okay, the Switzerland is one of the first dog focuses. The St. Bernard. I like that picture. Hope Steph already understand. Okay. So, let me just recap what's going to happen here. So, they're adding some paths for Switzerland. Okay. I want to see if they actually have unique models. Nope, they still have the standard models. God damn it. They can't paint the new models. Okay, so basically, Switzerland will be cut if you justify on them. So if you're playing Italy or Germany and you want to invade them day one, you justify a war goal on them and you will kill them because their divisions can't actually fight you. They have 0 stats. So this is going to make killing them a lot easier. And then SP, I'm not sure what they're going to do here. Like, maybe there is an alternate path where they don't. Yeah, because we've only talked about this historical quote-unquote path. If we do this path, or even these ones down here, you can have an interesting game. Because this one, let me tell you, I don't think anybody's going to fucking play, because you have to go democratic, and let's be honest, being democratic in Hoi is, like, worst thing you could possibly do. You could literally do nothing. So you have to go down the alt path, and like maybe you can crush Germany this side, which is what I'm thinking, and this other side is you join Germany. So those could actually be interesting paths. Otherwise, I'm okay with this thing. I want to play it when it comes out, and we'll see how bad or good it is by then. But yeah, and this readiness thing is also kind of interesting. I don't know. I think it's just interesting. I don't know if it's any fucking good to play, but I guess we'll see. So that concludes this Dev Diary briefing by me, Konrad von Scharnhorst. If you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, all that other stuff. Otherwise, I'll link you back to the Italian shit, the Italian Dev Diary, and you can go watch him rant there. Otherwise, you people have a nice day.